Welcome to Business Reporter's Future of Responsible Business campaign. I'm Rachel Hicks. The print industry has been undergoing a steady process of evolution ever since Gutenberg developed the first printing press more than 500 years ago. For much of the past half-century, analog printing has been the go-to method, but in recent years it's come under criticism. Brands that use analog printing for their packaging require large print runs, and this can be harmful to the environment due to the excess of packaging that this process forces brands to absorb. Cue the rise of digital press. First developed in the early 1990s, it's since grown in stature, largely as a result of the speed and precision with which it prints. But does it have added benefits? Can it reduce the carbon footprint associated with printing, all the while giving brands the capacity to create and innovate with their packaging? Well, that's what we're going to discuss today with Jose Gobert, Global Head of Brands, Agencies and Sustainability Innovation at HP Graphic Arts. Good morning, Jose.
Good morning, Rachel.
Now, the printing and packaging industry has had a checkered history when it comes to environmental sustainability. What are the challenges?
Traditional printing methods are rigid and wasteful. Why are they rigid? Because you cannot change the graphics and then reprint it very easily. Why is it wasteful? Because you are always penalized with minimum order quantities related to the setup costs of traditional printing.
Can you elaborate on these problems?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the element of traditional printing has been used eternally since its inception. Basically, it demands a business to create plates and cylinders for each color that has to be printed for a print job, and then calibrate the printing machine until you get to the right result. All of this creates excess inventory from a point of printing that penalizes a business that needs to use this as a service. And on the other hand, the graphics that you need to print on, every time you need to do a change in text, let's say that you have a new regulatory directive to comply with, it demands you making new plates and new cylinders to do it all over again. And then what happens with all the excess inventory that you created for the previous job, it goes directly to waste. And that's a huge problem.
How much of the stock printed in an analog way goes to waste?
A little over 25%, because all of the excess inventory that you produce at the point of printing goes across the whole value chain and it cannot be stopped. It creates unnecessary pressure to print more, to produce more, and to throw more to the waste.
So tell us about the HP Indigo digital press service. What makes it different from the analog printing technology?
Well, analog printing is very clunky and cumbersome. It takes you 2 to 6 months to print what you need versus digital printing. Why is that? Because analog demands you to create cylinders and plates for each color, combine them and calibrate them until you set up everything for printing. Digital printing bypasses all of that process in a matter of days. As you well know, we are a software and a hardware company at the same time, and the HP Indigo Press service allows a business to impact more of the value chain by partnering with us. Why? Because creatives can create, through our software, millions of unique graphics to be printed in one go that go into our digital press, and then they can be printed immediately. And it removes the element of minimum order quantities because our presses are equipped in a way that if you only need to print 1, 10, or 1 million printouts of what you need, you can do that and achieve a true just-in-time stock management model.
So how is this more sustainable than analog printing? And are there other benefits beyond sustainability?
Well, it's because not only you can remove 30% of packaging waste by eliminating minimum order quantities of what you print, it's also because the Indigo digital press is much more efficient. It removes up to 80% of CO2 emissions, and it can print on the widest range of sustainable substrates like organic material. But most importantly, it's the marketing benefit that you enable, which is how brands can personalize and co-create content with the consumers they are trying to reach to be more impactful. And this is so much more important these days because of how relevant the diversity and inclusivity agenda is today, and how much you can drive things like gender equality in connection to things like International Women's Day and so on and so forth. This is so important because of all of these marketing benefits that you enable are highly coveted by brands and business owners as part of a new physical experience.
Can you give us a case study of how HP Indigo digital press enables better marketing?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a beautiful campaign that was designed between us and the Amarula brand of liquor in South Africa to save the elephants from poaching. The fact of the matter is that in just 10 years' time, the elephants will disappear from Africa if poaching continues due to their ivory trade. So we wanted to make a change and stop that and protect our biodiversity. How did we do that? Through co-creation and personalization. We involved consumers in the creation of 400,000 unique bottle labels to celebrate each of those elephants and giving them a name, to donate money that the brand donated to an entity called Wildlife Direct to protect them from poaching. It was so well received by the market that not only their sales increased triple digit, but they have millions and millions of earned media impressions across the world of people who wanted to be part of this movement, which was called Name Them, Save Them.
So is digital printing more expensive than analog printing?
Yes, it is, but it is also much more profitable. We have learned that it basically doubles your marketing ROI because it leads into increased engagement through personalization, increased social media activity because people talk much more about the benefits, and most importantly, your brand reputation gets a lot of positive sentiment from the audience. We have learned through the research we did with a very important advertising research company, where we analyzed the last 5 years, the top 9,000 marketing campaigns across the globe, where this is actually a fact. Digital printing from HP Indigo enables brands to co-create and personalize at scale. And that marketing technique is the unlock to doubling your marketing ROI through increased engagement, sales, and earned media activity.
So in your view, how is the printing industry going to evolve over the coming decade?
Well, it will definitely continue to evolve because of digital printing. And within that, HP Indigo digital press services are at the forefront of that because we are reaching an inflection point because of COVID-19. It enabled businesses to replenish their packaging stock because they were able to print locally and much faster. And on the other hand, when you layer on top the fact that you can do better marketing, like reflect the reality of COVID-19 in the packaging just a few weeks after we went under lockdown, it created a unique opportunity for our business to flourish, where we expected to grow from 10 to 20% of share across the total print industry between now and 2025. And that's where we see a bright future.
Jose, thank you for sharing your insights with us today.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.